Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back to the Keep It Real show where I give it to you raw and uncut. How you want it. Okay? How do you want it? Y'all know that's my song. So, coming to you guys on this beautiful morning with another message. The Most High wants me to talk about, of course, life and the things surrounding life. These are general readings, so they may resonate with some, and then they may not resonate with others. We all are at different stages in our life. We've all experienced various things in our life. So if you hear somebody talking about something that you experienced, but they don't know you, that doesn't mean they're talking about you. They're not referring to you. They may be referring to what they know. It just happens to be the exact same thing that you're going through. Okay? Or it just happens to be the exact type of characteristics um, that you have. Again, these are general readings about life and the lessons and the blessings in life. Okay? One of the main things that I believe I was instructed to talk to you guys about is this thing where this scenario or situation, however you want to call it, where um, people get into relationships with people who already have children, whether it be a man or whether it be a woman, and they try to segregate the children. We've all seen it. We've seen um, people who take care of their children but leave out the stepchild, go buy clothes for their kids but don't buy nothing for the stepchild, don't buy hygiene supplies for the stepchild, and all this other crazy, um, malicious acts. This is the psychology of it all to me. This is what I didn't understand. I didn't understand why would a person get in a relationship with somebody who has children and then have resentment for that person's children. Sometimes the people don't even know the person kids. To me, this is what I feel. If it comes to a point where you're feeling hatred or you have resentment for somebody's children, you shouldn't be in a relationship with that person. Because what people fail to realize is this: there are things in life that we can choose, and there are things in life that's already chosen for us by the Most High. Like our ethnicity. like our gender, like, let's see, and I'm referring to things that um, we can't choose. And I understand we're not going to go off on a tangent. We're not going to start talking about how people are changing their gender and all that. That's a different conversation, okay? So back to the things that we cannot choose, okay? We, when we were created, okay, we didn't call up to the Most High and say, hey, Most High, I want to be a Puerto Rican. Uh-huh. And I want to be a male. We didn't have that option. But you do have that option to choose if you're going to be in a relationship with somebody or not. And there's been smart people who left relationships, not because they hated the child or anything, but because it was overwhelming for them. And they knew it was better to eliminate themselves out the situation than to keep going through an overwhelming situation that they didn't have a resolution for. You understand me? For example, and don't get me wrong, situations like this happen too. There was a time that, a woman was in a relationship with a man and he had a daughter, and the daughter was instructed by the daughter's biological mother to basically be disrespectful to the woman and belittle her and steal from her also. So the girl's mother was having her daughter steal from the lady, lie on the lady, lie to the lady, make up elaborate stories. The lady was cooking dinner one night and um, she went to the bathroom. I guess the girl had turned the fire up on the eye. Mind you, this girl is like 15, 16 years old. We're not talking about a 5-year old. We're not talking about a 10-year old, okay? This is someone who knows, who she might not have a full understanding of the reason behind why her mama doing what she doing, but she has an understanding of right and wrong. Okay? So she set the house on fire by turning up the eye on the stove. And the kitchen caught fire. I'm not sure if that was her intent or if she was just trying to ruin the food and trying to ruin her father's relationship. Um, but that's what happened. And after a lot of incidents like this, and that's dangerous, that's unsafe. After a lot of incidents like this, that lady, she didn't go after the girl. She didn't go after the man's daughter. She didn't attack her verbally. She didn't attack her physically. Till this day, she still don't have no hard feelings towards that girl. And I think she did the appropriate thing. Although that the girl was trying to run her off and she did all that stuff, I think she did the appropriate thing, which was leave. Inform the father that the situation was out of hand. She had no control over the situation, um, which means there was no resolution in the near future. So she chose to leave, which I believe was appropriate. I believe that stopped her from having to, keep getting in these situations where things are unsafe or a child is like was attacking her, you know. In the end, eventually the girl came out and told, told her dad and everything, like, oh, my mom told me to do this, my mom doesn't like her, my mom doesn't want you guys together. What the girl didn't understand was that her mom was jealous and miserable and didn't want to see her father happy. So she instructed her daughter to be horrid towards them, her father and his woman. And what was crazy about that situation is, it's not crazy, the irony of this whole situation was that, of course, after everything came out, it made all three of their bonds stronger. Okay? So, although that mother was trying to hurt that other lady and hurt that man and ruin them, it made all three of their bonds stronger because they were able to discuss what happened. They was able to get to the truth. And the truth was revealed that the mother was playing the daughter like a little puppet. What the daughter didn't realize is this what the daughter didn't realize was that she was about to lose her father, because her father was about to walk away because he didn't understand why she was being so horrid. Like, why are you being so horrible to somebody who's just trying to help you? Why do you have so much resentment and so much hatred towards somebody that you don't even know, who came into your life to help you? Not to hurt you, not to kill you, not to tear you down. And what the daughter failed to realize was this woman had her own family too. This woman could have went back to her family members and told all her family members about all the horrible things that the little girl was doing. She didn't. She confided in one person because that was important, you know, but she didn't go and tell her whole family and tell her friends and go to her, meet her old childhood friend from elementary and tell her. She didn't do that because she really cared about the father and she really cared about that girl. And she wanted to get to the bottom of it, which they did, which that girl is blessed to have another woman in her life, another mother figure to love her, and teach her and not put her in harm's way like her mother did by sending her to her father's house to be disrespectful, to be horrid, to be nasty, to be malicious, just to bring negativity, you know? So, and I have to talk about that story because I have to let you guys know, there's two sides to every story, you know? Sometimes it's not the step parent that's hurting the child. Sometimes it's the biological parent sending the child in to cause harm and havoc. But what that shows is that obviously your mother didn't care about you that much, because why would she send you over there to be disrespectful to your father? What the daughter didn't realize was, ultimately, The mother was ruining the daughter's relationship and the daughter's opportunities. Okay? Because once that father was like, okay, I can't do this anymore. You don't listen to me. You made this place unsafe. You've done things that almost killed us, claiming it to be um, claiming that she didn't know, like as if somebody don't know that they turned the eye on and turned it to 3, and then you came behind them and turned it up to 7, as if somebody doesn't notice that. I'm glad that that situation turned out the way that it did, and they were able to communicate amongst each other and eventually get a resolution and get to the truth, because a lot of situations don't happen like that. Because a lot of people don't communicate properly, and then we have those other people who don't comprehend what's being communicated. Their interpretation of what's being communicated is not accurate. So they had to get to the root of the problem. The root of the problem was the biological mother constantly slandering the father, constantly slandering his woman on a daily basis, constantly making the daughter feeling like she has to choose between um, having respect for her biological mother or having respect for her biological father and her newfound mother figure. When a person puts a child in a situation like that and causes them detriment to their psyche, okay? So then we have the other situations where, like I said, these people get in a relationship with people who already have kids and then somehow have resentment towards the people kids. Like, that's just strange. Here's a woman who didn't have no resentment towards the man's children, and she decided to do the smart thing, the right thing, which was step out of the situation. And because she actually cared about that man, because he's a good man, she didn't walk away. She just stepped out of the situation so that she could analyze it from a different perspective, so that she could get answers to questions that she didn't understand. And we're going to have to talk about this biological mother for a second. People who share her characteristics. To be honest, there's a lot a person can talk about in the world, like, you know things going on in their community, uh, their faith, But when a person just choose on a daily basis to bring up somebody who either don't know them or only met them a couple of times, it's something wrong with that person. The girl was just too young to understand that her mom had a psychological issue that she needed to see a doctor for treatment for. Because anytime that you're filled up with hatred towards somebody that you don't know, you need to see a doctor. Because the underlining of that is that you really hate yourself. The hate that you feel inside of you that you think is for somebody else, it's really the hate that you feel inside of yourself for you, for whatever reason. And everybody's reasons is different. Okay? And the fact that it's really people out here instructing their kids to be disrespectful to adults who help them, who teach them, who respect them ultimately. Because it's another thing I keep hearing, that kids don't need to be respected. Kids need to be respected. How do you think that you can teach a kid about respect if you don't give them respect and show them this is respect? This is what you do. This is how you behave. This is how you conduct yourself. You see how I'm treating you respectfully? Because that's how we teach. So if you're a person that feel like kids don't need to be respected, it's not a surprise when your kids are disrespectful. Because you've taught them disrespect. You taught them to be disrespectful to people by being disrespectful to them. They think it's normal because they have a young mind and they don't know a lot. Okay? Like, for instance, let's see. I believe that negativity is contagious. And I just gave you an example about the story with the girl and her biological mother and her mother figure and her father. Although we was talking about their relationship, now we're going to talk about the mental. I believe I believe negativity is contagious because if you sit in it long enough, eventually you're going to become negative too. You know, like those people who sit around and complain all day, like all day about everything is complain about everything, you know? You can either block it out or you're going to end up, joining them in the negativity, in their complaints. And it be valid stuff to complain about, and people don't be choosing to complain about the valid things that need to be complained about. You know, that's why. That's why I don't sit around negative people, because the negative people create a negative environment. Negative people transfer their, or at least they attempt to, without, whether they know it or not, whether they're doing it deliberately or not, try to transfer their psych um, try to transfer their mindset to their children. Again, there's things in life that we can choose, and there's things in life that we cannot choose. Like, we can't choose the size of our brains. Oh, let me just call God. Hello, God. When I'm born, I want an overlarge size brain, and I want 40 teeth and three eyes. We can't do that. It's crazy. But when there's things that you can change, things that you have the option to do, like your mental, you know, your mental stability and the mental stability of any dependent that you're taking care of or raising, why is it that people aren't choosing to have positive mental health? It's a choice. It's a choice. People are choosing. They're choosing to be negative. They're choosing to be toxic. Like, some people choose to be sick instead of going to the doctor. They just sit around. Excuse me. Excuse me. Instead of going to the doctor, they just sit around being sick. Or instead of getting up and getting that medicine, they just sit around being sick. Choose it. Okay? Choosing. The mother, the biological mother, chose to be hateful towards the other parent, chose to try to sever the father and his girlfriend relationship by sending the daughter in to create havoc and lies, and create unsafe scenarios, ultimately almost ruining this girl relationship with her father. But she didn't see it. She didn't see that when she was doing it and listening to her mother. She didn't see that she was ruining her own relationship with her father. She thought she was helping her mom, you know. She thought she was um, standing up for her mom, I guess. But when somebody don't want to be with you, they don't want to be with you. They don't have to. Even if y'all have kids together. Like, You can't force somebody to be with you. Choosing to try to force somebody to be with you is what got you into the negative mental state that you're in. And then you chose to make your child's mental state negative. You chose to impact your child's life in a negative way. And I'm pretty sure that she didn't see it that way. And I'm pretty sure that the mother probably believed that everybody was going to think that she was right for what she did, and you're not right for what you did. That lady don't even know you. That lady was getting to know your daughter. That lady had opportunities and things lined up for your daughter because she was looking at her as her daughter. Okay? Isn't that how you want somebody else to look at your child? Don't you want people to be good to your child? Wouldn't you? Like I just like like it just don't make sense. Like people want somebody to be hurt their kid. People want people to be mean to their kid. Like the fact that she was treating your daughter very well and she was teaching her stuff that you didn't teach her, I guess that upset you because you have to pay attention that people when they live on the negative side of life, they just negative. They live on the negative side. That's where they reside. Me, I was looking at the lady like this is a very sad situation and you almost ruined your daughter. Ruined her, possibly nearly killed her because she would have died in that fire too. That's the irony of the situation. And then what? You would have been sitting over there acting like you didn't know what happened. And the whole time you're the culprit. You sent your daughter over there to do things that she shouldn't have, things that she had no reason to do because she was being loved and taken care of and taught and she was being respected. Lord, I don't understand some people. Do you understand me? When God send good people in your life or in your child's life, who are you to try to harm them? And we're going to stop blaming this on mental illness because this is what you have to understand. These people ain't mental. They deliberately doing this stuff. They sit back and they plan this stuff out. They ain't mental. That just reminded me. I was watching a video. Excuse me. Keep clearing my throat. I was watching a video, but I don't recall the credited information. I like to give, put my credits out there to people if I'm talking about a conversation that they had or an interview or a book I read, I always like to cite my sources. But I don't remember right now. Eventually it'll come back to me. And it's a similar situation. They were talking about how the music industry tries to separate the rapper from anybody who basically tries to enlighten them or anybody they can go to get counseling so that they can make better decisions. And I'm assuming that they're using the same tactics, gossip, lies, slander. I really don't know how that works out. Like, I don't know how people at the record label can convince somebody of a lie, claiming that it was a parent or something who did harm to them. I don't even know how that's possible unless you don't know your parents. Because if you know your parents, you know what they are capable of, what they will do, and what they won't do. So I don't know how these record labels is even doing that if that's what's going on, as people are saying. Because you got to know them. You can't just go off and, I mean, you can. You can literally do it. But for it to be believable, it has to be something that this person will do. If that's not in this person's character, and you're going off, oh man, your mom, she just stole $100,000 from you. And here this man mom done been around millions of dollars and ain't stole one. But you telling this person that their mom stole thousands of dollars from them. But ain't got no proof. Where's the evidence? Where is the evidence? I don't want to hear no speculation. Okay? Show us the evidence. Honey, honey. All I can say is very strange. Mm-hmm. Very strange indeed. Hmm. Hmm.